Good morning. Good evening, our guests today on the platform. You are welcome. All of you are welcome to this amazing presentation, which is a very, very important topic. And because of time, let me rush through it. And for your basic understanding, to make sure, first of all, I appreciate all of you tuning in this evening. This is very, very important because in our business, we are not in the business selling ugali flour. We're not in the business selling a yamachoma. Our business is about helping people to have good health through our scientifically researched natural food supplement from Forever Living Products. So I'm a very excited member of this amazing company. It's been an amazing journey for the past 28 years. And every time I wake up, I feel blessed by my ability to discover Forever Living Products. So I should now go on the next slide. Okay. I just want to share with you what has prompted me to choose this topic for today. As you can see here, this was a research which was done on fish oil supplement, which was reported on WBZ News, and it was discovered by one of our FBOs who was now querying about what the research scientist has mentioned as to do with fish supplements. So she was a bit worried because in our business, we deal with a very, very good food supplement known as omega-3 fish oil, essential fatty acid. So it was a big concern for her because the research scientist said that from what the research scientist mentioned, that according to a research that is not, it said, as you can see there, said that may not be beneficial for healthy adults. So that's why she became very worried that, okay, we have fish supplements in our Forever products. So she wanted an answer. So I took it upon myself to actually to choose this topic today in order to remove any fear among other FBOs. And as you can see there, what I want to add is that it's not everything you read on the internet that you have to take as the gospel truth. You have to take it, whatever you read on the internet with a pinch of salt. So in order to allay any fear, this is the reason why I've chosen to deal with this very important topic about omega-3 fish oil, the importance of omega-3 fish oil in our diet. So let me move on. So when we are talking about nutrition, we are talking about macronutrients, which is also from there you can get micronutrients. So for macronutrients, for general wellness, we need glucose, which we get from the carbohydrates like ugali flour, like rice. Okay, we need that for energy in the body, is converted into glucose. You need protein for general wellness, for replacement, cellular replacement, to make new you all the time, which is broken into amino acid. We also need fat. Fat is very, very crucial. So those are the three main macronutrients for general wellness. As you can see there, the fish oil is a dietary source of omega-3 fatty acid. So when we are talking about omega-3 fatty acid, is our body cannot make it. We can only get it from macronutrients like mackerel, tuna, all those cold water fish we don't have access to in this part of the world. So your body, this omega-3 fatty acid, also known as essential fatty acid. Okay, before I forget, it is known as essential fatty acid because your body cannot make it. So you have to get it through supplementation or through consuming those oily cold water fish. So it is very important for muscle activity and refer to it because it's a long name. We normally refer to it as DHA. So the long name of DHA is docosahexaenoic acid. That's a full name. And the second one is EPA for short, is icosapentaenoic acid. That's the full name. It's shortened for EPA. It's mouth biting as well. So those are the two main ones known as essential fatty acid, which our body cannot make. So the dietary source of this DHA and EPA, as I said before, is from the fish like cold water fish, like salmon, mackerel, trout, shellfish such as mussel, oysters, crabs, and yes, another one which is my favorite, which I can't remember at the moment. I normally get it whenever I go to Tanzania. So calamari oil. So contains a lot of, according to Research by Forever, contains a lot of omega-3 fish oil. And this one, also known as omega-3, this the third one, is derived from nuts, seed, vegetable oils, is classified as alpha linoleic acid, shortened for ALA. So you have 3 different types of essential fatty acid for general wellness. So let's move on. As you can see there, you have, this is subdivided. I hope you're able to see, it's a bit fussy. I hope you're able to see this slide clearly on your side. So the way I've decided, according to my research, I've decided to separate them into this type of oil. I've decided to separate them into 2 major types. You have the saturated fat, which is derived from animal fat, butter, and lard. Lard is those white deposits, maybe from pigs, lard and all that, which they use for, if you've done cookery before, in my days in cookery, we used to use it for short crust pastry. But now it's saturated and it's not encouraged, okay? I'll tell you the reason later. So this is classified as saturated fats. The other one is unsaturated fat, you can see here, which contain, is now subdivided into 2 parts, known as polyunsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats. I hope you are following properly. This is critical for your basic understanding. So when you're talking to your customers out there, you have the knowledge to educate them. So I hope you are following. And I say my training, because I'm going to be giving a lot of information, you need to be taking down notes. Critical. So the part of the polyunsaturated fat is now classified as the omega-3 fatty acid. That's the EPA one, which I say you get from fish and shellfish. And the DHA part of that omega-3 fatty acid is, you also get it from fish, shellfish, and you can also get it from, flaxseed, soya bean, and walnuts. I will talk more about it to give better explanation. In many households. So the monosaturated fat is classified as omega-9 fatty acid, which we get from olive oil, avocado,
Hello, Josephine, we've lost you. Hello, Josephine.
moving. Yeah, I'm just trying the internet. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good now. Okay. All right. So as you can this is very, very important, this slide, and showing the importance of omega-3 fish oil. You can see here the DHA and the EPA from the omega-3 essential fatty acid. You can see according to the picture to give you better understanding. So according to research, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you can't see your slide. Hello?
Okay, I'm just trying to sort it out now.
Yeah,
Can you see
yeah.
it now? Okay,
Yes.
sorry about that. I hope there'll be no more technical itch. All right, so let's repeat again. This is explaining the importance of essential fatty acid here. As you can see from this diagram, the DHA and the that EPA, very, very important. According to research, the DHA part of the essential fatty acid is very, very important for the brain. And the EPA is important for the rest of the body here. You can see for the organs. And what am I showing here is that when we're talking about the brain and other cells, so let me go back again. Let me show you the picture here. This is cell. Sorry to take you back to your biology. Some of you many years ago. Okay, this is cell. This is anatomical structure of a cell, and you have trillions of them in your body. A cell makes up a tissue. The tissue makes up an organ. So this is the structure of a cell, and the cell is covered by a membrane. So the membrane here, the cell membrane, which is the outer cover, as you can see there, is very, very important cellular structure. This is where the omega-3 fish oil is very, very important. It's part of the composition of the cellular membrane, as you can see there. Here, you can see also here. So that's this is the inside the lining of a blood vessel here. So outside there, outside the cell membrane, you also have the omega-3 composition. Like you can see the EPA there, very, very important. And it's part of the phospholipid, part of to prevent water going inside the cell. Very, very important. The omega-3 fish oil for cellular membrane to protect the whole entire cell. So can you now understand from that what the scientists who did the research, who prompted my talking about this topic today, can you see why I actually disagree with her, saying that it is not important for healthy adults? Because each of us, in each human being, we are trillions of cells. So this is the composition of each cellular membrane. So I don't understand why she said it's not important for a healthy adult. I hope you understand me now, the importance of omega-3 as far as the structural cell, the cell membrane is important. It's part of the composition of what you call phospholipid layer of the cell membrane. So here again, look at the brain cell called neuron here. This cell here, the membrane, part of the composition is also omega-3 fatty acid. Although we are here for the brain, the part of the composition is the DHA. So let me move on. In the brain, before I repeat, in the brain is composed of 60% fat. And part of that is the omega-3 fish oil, especially the EPA, I mean the DHA, very, very critical for brain activity, for, I will be talking later, for anything to do with memory, very, very critical. So that's the DHA part of it. So I'm sure you understand now what I've been trying to, the membrane, the phospholipid part of it is the essential fatty acid. In the brain, you have the DHA, which is part of that composition. I hope you understand me now, the importance of omega-3. So anybody with brain, apart from the rest of the organs, the rest of the body, it is critical. Omega-3 feature is critical. So you don't have to be unwell before you start taking omega-3 fish oil, because it's critical. It's a critical composition of each cellular membrane. So let me move on. That's the blood vessel as well. Inside there, very important as part of that composition. I've already said it there, the brain consists 60% fat, and the cellular membrane contains 40% EPA and DHA. I hope you can now understand the importance of omega-3 for everybody. Sorry, this slide is playing up today. I do not know why. Let me, okay, stop. Okay.
What happened?
I don't know. Maybe I should move to another room.
Yeah. You might have to. You might have to. Remember, I was telling you to go to the office. Okay. I was telling you to go to the office. Your next slide. Next slide.
Yeah. All right. I think it's my internet. I may have to move to another place, but excuse me. I'm sorry for this technical hitch, which not happen because it's not rainy today. So I don't know why the internet is playing up. So let me move on because of time for further explanation of the importance of essential fatty acids. We're talking about omega-3 fish oil here. This may give you, so as you can see, it's very important for our general wellness. As I said, your body cannot produce it. It must come from a diet and also supplementation. Every cell since then, as you can see there, you have the EPA and DHA, as I already explained. You can see here, you can see all the composition of the EPA and DHA, and also you can see that omega-6 fatty acid, which, as you can see there, which we consume a lot of it, and that's what is affecting general wellness nowadays. The proportion of the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 should be 1:1, but nowadays you find that the ratio is changed. That's why there are many health challenges. So the ratio is now, and even if it's 1, if the ratio of omega-3, if it's 1 to 4, it's still okay. That's the ratio. But nowadays you find that the ratio is about 1 to 30. So we are consuming 30 more of omega-6, which causes inflammation. So let me move on. So you can see the omega-6, you get it from vegetable oil. I've already mentioned all this before. So this is normal ratio. That's how it should be. And if this ratio is still okay, still acceptable, but let me move on quickly. So according to research, you find that the ratio is 1 to 30. That's where they are having, and that's why there are many, many medical challenges nowadays, because the ratio is no longer what it should be. So that's annually we consume excess of omega-6 oil, which is pro-inflammatory. As you can see there, this all we are consuming too much in comparison with omega-3 fish oil. So let me move on. So we should increase consumption of omega-3 for better health. And let me move on. Okay. So as you can see there, so this is how the body does the conversion. You can see this is what you call alpha linoleic acid, which is from flaxseed oil. It's also omega-3 fish oil. So how does the body convert it during this conversion? With omega-3, you can see according to this diagram, you can see the EPA there and the DHA. So that's all these are very important for general wellness. But when they're talking, some people, they are vegetarian, and they said they don't want, or some people because of their religion. I'm talking about customers, my customers here. Okay, most of the Asians, they say, oh, they can't take fish because of their religion. Okay, they can only take omegas. When I talk about the importance of omega-3 fish oil for general wellness, they say, okay, they can get it from flaxseed oil. They can get it from walnut oil. That's what they tell me. But I'm trying to explain to them, this is the one, that's alpha linoleic acid. So I tell them that they have to eat a lot of it to be able to get DHA and EPA. Because some of them, they don't even have the correct enzyme to do this conversion. So when they are taking a lot of the flaxseed oil, they find that they have to take a lot before they can get small amount of DHA, especially DHA, which is very, very important for neuro activity, for the brain activities. So I hope you're understanding that. So here, this is what I was saying here. As you see, you have to consume a lot of the you have to take a lot of this omega-6 to get a little bit of omega-3 out of it. And don't forget, as I said, some people, they don't even have enough enzyme to do that conversion. So very, very important. And look at this again. You find that many of the fish oil, now because the sea is getting more and more polluted with a lot of heavy metals, like this is causing a lot of concern when we are talking about omega-3 from the ocean. You find that there's been a big concern about PCB. This is toxins. And again, these are another dioxins. Those are heavy toxins from the polluted sea, and mercury. So when you say you are getting, when some company are getting fish oil, you don't know the source of their fish oil. So one needs to be very, very careful. I remember when I was in UK at one time, they were warning pregnant women not to buy fish, not to buy salmon, because those salmon, they found they were farmed, they were produced from the farms, and the farms where they were produced from, they were known to be polluted, to be contaminated with these heavy metals. So the source of the omega-3 where you get it from is very, very critical, very important. As I said, the sea is getting more and more polluted, apart from the farmed fish nowadays. This is what the research I found regarding the source of some of the omega-3 fish oil on the market. So now let's talk about our Arctic Sea omega-3. Forever Arctic Sea omega-3 fish oil is very, very important. As I said, it's classified as essential fatty acid. The body needs it for optimal health and vitality. So as you can see there, that's the container. That's the small, tiny capsules of our Forever Arctic Sea omega-3 fish oil, which is from non-polluted ocean. Very, very important. Forever has done its research to make sure that the products, they are top quality. Some of the products that are available to us, they take about 3 to 4 years of research because Forever want to be the best. Now, let me take you through to the guy behind the research of our Arctic Sea omega-3 fish oil from Forever. His name is Dr. Dyberg. He's a Danish doctor, and is the world-renowned omega-3 fish researcher. And this guy did a lot of research among Eskimos, and he found that the Eskimos, they were found not to have any issues with heart problems because they were known to be consuming a lot of fish oil. So he did his research on that for many years, over 10 years. And after that, he actually brought this book out, which I've got a copy. The missing wellness factors, EP and DHA. This was written by Dr. Dyberg, the one behind the production of the best quality omega-3 from Forever Living products. So as we move on, just to repeat again, our omega-3 fish oil from Forever, it contains EPA and DHA, and you can see there. So it is very, very critical. The body, as I said, the body cannot make it. And it is important ingredients that it should be included in a healthy diet. So you don't have to be sick to start consuming to start supplementing with omega-3 fish oil, because you cannot always guarantee the food you are taking contains enough essential fatty acid. So for that reason, it is important that you take our omega-3 fish oil to bridge the gaps in what may be missing for general wellness. So as you can see there, our company, Forever Living Products, is the only company that makes its own mix of DHA and EPA, delivering 33% more DHA per day and setting the ideal ratio of DHA to EPA for maximum health and wellness. Forever Living Product is the only company that's taking action to make sure the DHA is at least 33% more than other companies on the market, apart from the omega-3 fish oil coming from non-polluted sea. So now again, to remind you, the essential fatty acid omega-3 is very, very important for the cellular membrane covering here of the cell. It helps to stabilize inflammation, and the stability of it so when we talk about cellular membrane, it stabilizes the membrane to make sure the integrity of the membrane is maintained. Is very, very critical for the survival of each cellular component. It also helps to support a healthy immune function. I'll be talking more about it as I go along. So these are omega-3 fish oil I can see there, containing omega-9, and the omega-9 is part of that omega-9 or composition of the omega-3 is the olive oil, oleic acid. That's the omega-9. As you can see that's olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, which we refer to it as that is very good as anti-inflammatory, supporting the function of the omega-3 fish oil. And you can see the fish I was talking about here. We have calamari oil. It's also extracted, omega-3 is also extracted from the flesh of salmon, fish, and codfish, not from the liver. But the liver is where all the toxins are deposited. So Forever makes sure it's only extracted from the flesh of the fish, not from the liver. So in order to prevent because it's oil, the omega-3 is oil, to prevent it from becoming rancid, Forever has decided to add vitamin E, which is a special antioxidant for the maintenance of this oil within the capsule. And it's also added Another antioxidant here, that's lemon oil and lime oil. That's omega-3 fish oil, essential fatty acid. And you can see here, it is safe, free from mercury and any other heavy metals. I will tell you more about the function of the beneficial effect as we move along. Here you can see our omega-3 unlike other companies in the market. Let me tell you, there are other companies who are making omega-3 fish oil. And there's many of them, they don't work, they don't deliver. When we talk about clearing cholesterol in the system, you can have, as a scientist, I've tried many other omega-3 fish oil on the market. They don't clear any form of cholesterol, the bad ones I'm talking about. It can be sitting, the capsule can be sitting there for the next 24 hours. It can just, the cholesterol will not be cleared. One day I will do that. I mean, some of you, you've already done, you understand, you've done that demonstration with your teams. So our omega-3 from Forever Living products contains 1,300 milligrams of this essential fatty acid. And part of the composition is 60 milligrams of DHA, 600 milligrams, not 60, 600 milligrams of DHA, 600 milligrams of EPA, and then 300 milligrams of oleic acid, which is the omega-9 fish oil from olive oil. And you need 3 capsules twice a day with meal, because it's fat. For maximum absorption, you take it immediately after food. Very, very critical for maximum absorption. So for adults, it is recommended you take a total of 6 capsules per day. They are very, very tiny, so they are very easy to swallow. For the little ones, you can break it and then mix it in their food when they are about to serve the food, because it's also critical. Remember, it's for every human being. So it's very, very critical. Also, it's not only for adults, it's for everybody. So for the small ones, you can break the capsules and just empty content as you're able to serve the food for them. Or you can rub it, you can put it in between the thighs. Just break it, just pierce it with a pin, and then it will absorb through the skin. And you just make sure you do it at night so you don't have all the cats in the neighborhood following them. Very, very important. That's just a joke. So here you can see the power of our essential fatty acid is good for the heart, for the brain, for the joints, and also for the vision. I'm going to tell you more about it as we move along. So look at this blood vessel. This blood vessel is all clogged with what you call plaque or atherosclerosis. This you can see within these deposits that we call it bad cholesterol. You have the good cholesterol, you have the bad ones. If the bad ones that can clog the arteries, causing the blocking passage of blood, causing with the resultant effect of what you call high blood pressure, because it actually causes the blood vessel to become narrow or occlusion here. You can see there, it can, now, if it's not controlled, it can actually block the entire surface of the blood vessels, which is quite, which is very, very serious. That's before. Now, when through the introduction of omega-3 fish oil from Forever, you can see the difference. This may take, those approach, they don't work overnight. So I must emphasize on that. So this is also very important message to pass to your customers. So it may take up to 3 months. You need to tell them, to advise them to be patient. Because again, if they've had issues with high blood pressure for many years, and they take all those pharmaceutical drugs, all those all those pre-pills, which don't work because also they are known to have a lot of side effects, and they start using ours, it is important you explain to them they need to exercise patience, especially if they've been hypertensive for many, many years. Our products do take time to work. So they don't work magical, overnight. Drugs can work quickly and give you a catalog of side effects. So this is very, very important information to pass to your customers here. Look at the difference here. So the omega-3 fish oil is very, very important in reducing, you can see, vaso-occlusive crisis, Especially, I remember now because some of the patients I have, they have issues with sickle cell anemia or sickle cell disease. And when you think about sickle cell disease, the most popular drugs they use is hydroxyurea. And those are known to have a lot of side effects. Those are conventional drugs with lots of side effects. People with sickle cell anemia, according to research, they found that omega-3 fish oil helps them, it prevents the blood cells from sticking together. So that they don't go through crisis. People with sickle cell disease or sickle cell anemia, they often go through crisis. They have pain in the joints. Because the red blood cells, they tend to aggregate. We call it Rouleau effect. They tend to aggregate in blood vessels. And when they aggregate, they can't flow properly. This is when, according to people affected, they experience pain, they go into crisis, and most of the time, it means admission to hospital, which can be very, very expensive. But according to research, we found our omega-3 fish oil combined with vitamin D and other micronutrients for people with sickle cell anemia helps them to live a better life without having to be resorting to those conventional treatment, which are full of side effects. So this research was done, which came out last year. This was a review by this guy, Abbas. Very, very important research for people with sickle cell anemia. Additionally, you find that is, as I said, I was talking about high blood pressure, is very, very effective, the omega-3, especially when you combine it with a change in lifestyle and exercise, and again, reduction in consumption of sodium and alcohol. This was according to American Journal of Hypertension. I hope you all follow here. So now another beneficial effect of omega-3 fish oil is when we're talking about hormones. Hormones are very, very important for both genders. And it is why, because omega-3 is one of the building blocks for hormone production, and is found to help to lower inflammation and also protect the body's ability to make hormones. A part of the component, essential component for hormones, that's the omega-3 fish oil essential fatty acid. As I said, it's very, very important to when we're talking about inflammation. So there's a relationship between inflammation and hormones, and inflammation contributes to hormonal imbalance, which many people, many women, especially women. Now, women, we are very, very delicate. We have our body is very, very intricate in that when many people, they tend to have issues with hormonal imbalance. And when they're having those issues, now you have to go ask them to go and look at it may be due to deficiency in the levels of omega-3 fish oil. As you can see there, inflammation, or it could be due to inflammation, inflammatory response. So inflammation contributes to hormone imbalance, and hormone imbalance contributes to inflammation, vice versa. So you can see another point there, it helps to, it's also very, very important, the omega-3 fish oil, very, very important for people who are diabetic. And we know in this nation, the over 1.6 million people are diabetic or classified as diabetic. So the omega-3 fish oil is very, very critical in order to stabilize the blood sugar. This is why I now go according to when we talk about stress. When the body experiences stress, it affects the stability of blood sugar. It increases blood sugar in the system. So when the body is stressed, there's a certain hormones produced called cortisol. You can increase the level of cortisol. So this one causes instability in the amount, in the levels of blood sugar. Also, you know, the blood sugar is being controlled by the hormone called insulin. So this one makes the insulin to become, it fluctuates the level of insulin in the system. And again, when we're talking about sex hormones, obviously if we are stressed, forget it. So it's also, when the sex hormone is also affected by the deficiency of omega-3 fish oil, especially when it's combined with stress, which is happening more and more nowadays, because many people because of what is happening in the nation, many people are going through a lot of stress, which increases the cortisol, which is cortisol, as I said, is an hormone. Control part of the composition is omega-3 fish oil. As you can see, omega-3 fatty acid plus vitamin D, they are also very, very important or critical for the synthesis of serotonin. Serotonin is another hormone, it's a happy hormone, which omega-3 is a part of it, together with vitamin D. And when we are talking about, which is what I mentioned when I was doing training last month, I was training on autism. When we're talking about autism, it's a class of children who are autistic, they tend to have this issue of hyperactivity disorder. So this is where omega-3 fish oil also plays a critical role in its ability to make them become less hyperactive. And I said these autistic children with hyperactivity disorders, are called the nuisance to teachers because they can't sit still in a class. I went over this last one when I was doing training on autism. So this is where omega-3 fish oil helps to give them that calmness. And again, as you can see, other social behavior. And when we're talking about other social behaviors, we're talking about, this is a research was done some years ago. You find that some people, they are not supposed to be in prison. They are in prison because of deficiency of omega-3 fish oil in their system. They're not supposed to be there. Because some of them also, their aggression, they are very, very aggressive because it goes down to deficiency of omega-3 in their system. So I'm just trying to emphasize the importance of omega-3 fish oil for general wellness. So when you're talking about not needing it, it's creating confusion for many people. So this is why I'm trying to emphasize on the importance of omega-3 fish oil for general balance of general wellness. And it's very, very important. I don't want to repeat, I keep on reminding you when we're talking about social behavior, because we're not talking about the brain. So it's very, very important for those who are not with it, okay? For depression, I'll be telling you on another slide when we talk about mental health. So supplementation with omega-3 fish oil, according to research, together with our Forever Active Probiotic and vitamin D3 plus magnesium and ginkgo. Now we have ginkgo, we don't have it here, but we have it in focus. According to research, it's very, very important for another hormone called dopamine. Dopamine goes together with serotonin. This is produced in the digestive system, and you find about 50% produced in the digestive system, and this 95% of serotonin is produced in the digestive system. So here, very, very important to balance the mood. Very, very critical, the importance of omega-3 in actually for mood balancing. So it has a positive effect on premenstrual syndrome. Now, this is now talking about women's hormonal imbalance. According to research, when we talk about premenstrual syndrome, this is what women go through. Before their period, they tend to have, because of deficiency of omega-3 in the system, they tend to have craving for sugary things, for salty things. Some of them, they have issue with bloating. And I know women on the platform today, you understand what I mean when we're talking of hormonal imbalance, especially when we're talking about premenstrual syndrome. This is what happens, is be linked to deficiency or reduction in the level of omega-3 fish oil. So this is so omega-3 fish oil, essential fatty acid, has got a positive effect in managing women with premenstrual syndrome. I hope you understand me now. So now this is also very important because there's a link with all this. So there's a link with the bacteria in your digestive system, together with omega-3 fish oil. In your digestive system, you have over 400 different species of bacteria. The good ones and the bad ones, they live together. So in an healthy adult, we have about there's a production of 2 kg of this bacteria in the digestive system. And as you can see, the they are part of that composition of we call microbiome, which are beneficial flora, and they are the housekeepers for the digestive system. So you can see they take part in the production of vitamin K for blood clotting, vitamin B12, very, very important for cognitive function and also for cellular division. Those bacteria are very, very important. And also, they produce a short-chain fatty acid like butyric acid, very, very important for the brain and for general wellness for immune system. And also, they take part in the production of that serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter essential for mood, and especially for the brain. And they're very important for the protection of the neurons, those cells making up the brain. I hope you have better understanding there. So when we are talking about skin health, I know Mobi did a fantastic job on that training last Tuesday. We should clap for her for all those products she was training people about skin, the importance of skin health. So here today, I'm talking about the importance of our omega-3 fish oil when we're talking in terms of skin health. You find that when women, as I said, we're very, very, we are very, very delicate. So especially when we are going through menopause, we find that through menopause, the skin changes because of that deficiency in that hormones, the progesterone and estrogen. And you find because of that, the skin gets dry. It's no longer balanced. But in order to give that cushion youthful effect, you need omega-3 fish oil. Very, very important for skin health, especially women going through menopause. Because you can see there, it's very important for skin oil production. It's very important to improve the balance in terms of hydration and also to stop breakouts like acne, which happens especially during that puberty breakouts among girls and boys. It minimizes the sign of aging, which Mumbi expressed last week. So omega-3 can also help to soften. If you want nice supple skin, because it's part of to make it nice and spongy, so you don't look wrinkled. It's very, very important to keep the skin nice and soft, prevent it from drying, to give it that smooth effect on the skin. And again, when we're talking about inflammation, we're talking here about dermatitis. Anything with itis means inflammation. So omega-3 helps when we're talking about inflammation of the skin. It can also help to maintain the gut, a healthy gut. That's the digestive system from the mouth to the anus, and give the skin a smooth, glowing appearance. So if you want to look young forever, it is important to include omega-3 supplement in your diet. Very, very critical. That's the link between omega-3 and skin health. So, as I always say in my previous training here, there's a connection between your digestive system and your brain through the brain-gut axis. Very, very critical. So you find, as I said before, 90% of the serotonin, that's the mood-enhancing hormones, is produced by those special bacteria in your digestive system. And they're very smart because now they're able to enter the brain to do their work in terms of neuroprotective effect, those good bacteria, through the production of this serotonin, in which omega-3 is critical as part of the composition of these hormones. So, explaining further beneficial effect of omega-3 for general wellness. We are having, in this nation, we are having increase in, when we're talking about mental health. Many people, they are having issues with what you call bipolar or manic depression. And according to research, it's been found to be part of it is due to deficiency in the omega-3 fish oil, especially the EPA. You can see here, low serotonin equals depression, according to research. Somebody did amazing research on the effect of omega-3 on general wellness, especially when we talk about mental issues. You can see here, that's the brain there. You can see the importance of, because again, when you're talking about the brain, you're talking about, it's like a back, when you open the back of a television, you see so many wires. Okay, so you have electrical impulses. Those neurons, those cells and nerve cells, they work. And here, in between, which I explained when I was talking about autistic children, like last month, in between the brain, you have what you call you have synapse here, and you get exchange of nutrients through this exchange through here of neurotransmitters. And so what I'm trying to explain here, the brain works like electricity, okay? Electrical connection. And any deficiency in the level of those neurotransmitters, part of it which is responsible for, which it may be due to deficiency of omega-3 fish oil, anything that happens there, you have a defect in the work of the brain cells. Maybe it could be depression, it could be ADDH, it could be, it manifests in many issues, like we're talking about mental health issues, which is on the increase in this nation here. So you can see also omega-3 is very beneficial for people after giving birth. I remember my trainer, my mentor in nutrition, how he expressed the importance of omega-3 when I was studying nutrition is that he said that every pregnant woman needs omega-3 fish oil. It's not only vitamin B, it's not only vitamin B12 loss, they also need omega-3 fish oil because it's part of what is important for the brain health of that newborn, apart from the mother. So if there isn't enough of omega-3 in the mother's blood, the baby takes it. Hence, he used the term, said, "Mommy, I shrunk your brain," because the baby takes the primary nutrients from the mother. So if there's not enough omega-3 in the mother's diet, when the baby is born, the mother goes into what you call postpartum depression. I hope you understand this. You are following me. So you wonder, that's the time when a mother should be celebrating. Because of deficiency of omega-3, they go into depression. Why? Because of deficiency of omega-3. Now, can you understand the essential or the importance of omega-3 in diet? It's not only about attention deficit hyperactivity alone. So deficiency can also result of, especially the deficiency or the lower levels of DHA. It can result into suicide or what I call like committing suicide. Okay, so this is why when you talk about antidepressants, okay, you find there's no need for antidepressant. What they need is omega-3 fish oil. But with what I'm trying to say here, if you have enough omega-3 fish oil in the system, you find especially the DHA part, it will actually help to reduce in the reduction of suicide rate in this nation. That's together with vitamin D3 supplementation. Very, very important, especially also for healthy elderly adult. Anybody who's over the age of 50 to prevent depression. This was according to the research which was done by this lady, that's Eva Okerere, some years ago in America. Let me move on quickly. So these other benefits of omega-3 fish oil is very important for that cardiovascular health by maintaining health. I told you there are good and bad cholesterol. So it's very important to maintain the balance of the good cholesterol, and so which is very important for good blood circulation. It's very good to promote brain function. When we talk about cognitive function, especially in this nation, we find out there's an increase in Alzheimer's. People are now losing it. They don't remember for so many reasons. It's not only because they're cooking with aluminum sulfuria. It's because of depletion in the amount of omega-3 in their diet, especially DHA, very important for brain development. And also, it's very important for memory and I've already mentioned about cognitive performance. So it is, according to what I said before, it is very important for joint inflammation, especially this condition we call rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease. You've heard of it before. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease, the body fighting itself, taking itself as its own enemy. So you find that there's a lot of inflammation in the joints. So according to research, omega-3 is very, very important to manage that condition. When we're talking about dementia, it's already mentioned, is people with asthma, omega-3 is very, very beneficial. People with migraine, you find that some people is not only being allergic to cheese or other poison in the food, it's also maybe due to deficiency of omega-3 fish oil. I hope you're noting all this down. We've already mentioned about the importance of it for people who are diabetic and hormonal imbalance, and the olive part of it, the omega-9, is very important for improved absorption of that component, the DHA and EPA. That's the omega-9 from olive oil. So our forever omega-3 fish oil contains cold compressed olive oil, omega-9, to maintain the potency and the freshness of the oil within the capsule. So our omega-3 is sourced from sustainable fish oil, very, very important. So that's, you can see the ingredients there. Fish oil is from squid, I've already mentioned, you've seen that the diagram before. So it also contains antioxidant. That's D-alpha tocopherol, which is vitamin E. Very, very important as a natural antioxidant within our omega-3 fish oil. So according to another research here, from the Journal of Biomedicine, it's a higher doses of omega-3 supplement may be beneficial for averting cognitive decline. That was published in 2020, that's July 19. So this is a third-party information, not from me. That's according to research. I hope you're all following. This is omega-3 when we're talking about Alzheimer's disease, which is a form of dementia, which is on the increase in this nation. So this graph is showing the importance of omega-3 in reducing the risk of being a victim of Alzheimer's disease. Let me move on. That's also mentioning all the beneficial effect of omega-3 for vision. Very, very important, which I didn't mention before. You know, when you're talking about the that's age-related macular issue, that's at the back of the eye, omega-3 is very, very critical. Any deficiency in there can also have a cause problem with the vision. And this is also linked to people who are diabetic. So when we're talking about that part with macular degeneration, this is where the DHA portion of the essential fatty acid is also very critical, apart from the brain. So let's move on. Here, omega-3 fish oil and the vegetarian version, which we're talking about the flaxseed oil. So because, as I said, some vegetarians, they said they cannot take our fish oil, maybe due to religious belief or because they're vegetarians. So I need to tell this where you can see the omega-3 offers only a limited amount of, you can see it because they're extracted from flaxseed of vegetable material. That's the omega-3 for vegetarian. You find the omega-3 component is very, very small. Apart from inability to, some of them, they don't have the proper enzyme to convert it into that small amount of omega-3. The reason is that our bodies our bodies convert the alpha-linolic acid, which is the one from vegetable oil or for vegetarian, because it contains a very reduced amount of DHA. Can you imagine? Only a tiny amount of DHA for the brain. And why? And the vegetarians said they can't take the one from from the fish, because the fish is the most important source of DHA. You only get a tiny amount from any other, from the vegetable or plant source. So, for example, when you consume, I'm just giving you an example here for a better understanding of many of you on the platform today. When you consume 100 milligrams, this is an example of plant source fatty acid. By the time the body converts them, you end up with only 5 milligrams. Can you imagine? From 100 milligrams, you only end up with 5 milligrams of DHA. And you need more for brain activity, for your vision, as I mentioned. So you would need to have consumed about 6 liters of many common cooking oils to get the same amount of omega-3 as a daily portion of the Arctic Sea. I hope you understand that. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is stating the essential of the importance of consuming omega-3 fish oil from fish. Because if you're a vegetarian, you will not be able to get enough of that DHA for the brain activity and for vision. So let's move on. So our omega-3 is from Forever is 1,000 is about 1,300 milligrams. Okay, precisely 1,305 milligrams of omega-3. So there's no need for Forever One. There's no need for any conversion. A lot of research has been done. There's no need for any conversion. It's ready made for maximum absorption. And you have enough DHA and EPA, which is assimilated directly into the system and help to restore omega-3 and to keep the ratio of that inflammatory omega-6 away. All right, very, very important. I've already mentioned about the effect of vitamin E to prevent oxidation. So we Forever gets the finest fish oil according to the scientific research. And when it follows a very, very strict process when it's in terms of manufacturing of essential fatty acid, Arctic Sea omega-3 fish oil, in order to eliminate any toxins. So it's toxin-free. That's already guaranteed. And according to research, 46 tests were done to ensure safety and purity of our Forever omega-3 fish oil. And look at those who have been able to supply the fish oil to Forever. They are international, they've been able to acquire all the certificate, International Organization of Standardization, hazard analysis and critical control points. That's before they can supply Forever. Current, they were part of the certificate, the current good manufacturing practices, therapeutic goods of Australia, and current FDA, Global Organization for EPA and DHA. That's Forever for you. So you can see 5-star rating, international fish oil standard, before they can be, when we talk about Forever essential fatty acid omega-3. So our fish oil is rated the best class. So that's a revision for you. It's very important for our omega-3, very important for cognitive function. So you don't become a victim of Alzheimer's, which is on the increase. It's good for eye health, for vision, especially for diabetic with diabetic retinopathy, or for macular degeneration, which is age-related, or for glaucoma. When we talk about glaucoma, which is very common among diabetic people, that's the pressure in the eye. So the eye is maintained by certain pressure. But because of glaucoma, you find that the pressure starts to leak. And now they have to use laser to seal that. So in order not to become a victim, it's important to make sure you have enough omega-3 from Forever in your diet. Good, critical for heart health, making heart health, making sure you don't get those deposits of atheroma or plaques. Very, very essential for your skin health, especially because of hormone imbalance, as I already mentioned, to make sure as we were going through menopause, to make your skin nice and supple and young. Very important for joint health. You don't need all those non-steroidal anti-inflammatories because they have lots of side effects. You only need omega-3 because it's anti-inflammatory. And traditional and alternative medicine agree that omega-3 fish oil contain EP and DHA. They are very, very important for our general wellness. You can see there, American Heart Association recommends the consumption of omega-3 and EP, containing EP and DHA, to help maintain good, maintain heart health. Very, very critical for good for circulation, for cardiovascular health. So you can see there, that's according to World Health Organization, they recommend consumption of DHA and EPA to support cardiovascular health. Very, very critical. And this, with our omega-3 fish oil from Forever, there's been a lot of tests done. You can see here, more than over 100,000 studies published on the health benefit of fish oil, of fish and fish oil. You can see all of that there. It's very important to control that part of the cholesterol. We call it triglycerides, which is a bad one. So omega-3 fish oil helps to balance, to make sure it's not too high and it's not too low. Very, very important to control that amount. Here, this is the caution, but I'm coming to the end of my presentation today. The caution which we have to take when we talk about omega-3 fish oil. So when you are taking, before you, just like in those we used to have ginkgo, and again, another supplement which you have to be careful is the one we don't have at the moment. That's garlic thyme. We are not classified as blood thinners. So this is why when you are recommending our products to your customers, you need to ask so many questions. Because Forever hasn't killed anyone for the past 46 years it's been operating. And we don't intend to kill anybody. We've left that to the other companies I don't want to mention at this point. So very, very important when we recommend omega-3 to your customers out there. Very important to find out about the clinical history. Make sure they don't have history of bleeding, okay? Because again, genetically, some people, they have this inheritance of bleeding, okay? So you have to make sure you ask them, and also to make sure they are not on anticoagulant. Those are the ones like aspirin. Those are the ones that making sure that the blood does not clot. Make sure they are not on that, like warfarin, heparin. Those are classes of anticoagulants. Make sure they are not on those type of medication, because if you don't ask them, if you start recommending omega-3 fish oil, because of the beneficial effect I've already explained, it may increase their bleeding time. And I know this because I used to work in hematology, doing all this bleeding time when somebody is on anticoagulants. So it is very, very critical that you ask many questions before you start recommending our omega-3 fish oil. So also very important that anybody plan to go for surgical procedure, at least make sure that they are not taking omega-3 about 2 months before they go for surgical procedure or for surgery, because you don't want it to be bleeding excessively during surgical procedure. Those are very, very critical to be asking your customers. I hope you are taking it in. So I want to show you this video. So I'm about to finish here to conclude. That's a very excited member of Forever Living Products for many years. As you see, his name is Adam May. He's one of the top FBOs in UK. And very excited about taking our omega-3 fish oil, just like many other FBOs around the world. So as you can see here, when we're talking about normal diets, so this is the one containing the bad fat, which we do not recommend on regular basis. Very important. So it's important to reduce the amount of this part of oil in your general diet. Very, very important. So here, here you can see there. So avoid, these are called fast food, reduce the consumption of fast food, which are known to cause inflammation. Consumed, no, we don't have access to this here. By the time you get it, it's not as fresh as we want it. That's salmon. So other countries, they're able to get it. But this is why we need to supplement with our Forever Omega-3 fish oil. That's the one. And let me tell you, this is a very important testimony from one of the FBOs in Forever. He said, as promised, there's a this is a testimonial. This testimonial is about slight unusual use of Forever Omega-3 fish supplement. I recommend it all the time for hormonal imbalances. This is from a woman and menopausal problems, as I mentioned earlier on. This lady says her name is Lisa, okay? Rita Lisa Baldwin. And she said 3 years ago, she was recommended by her general practitioner, doctor, to take hormonal replacement therapy because she was having issue with all the symptoms of hormonal imbalance. Was very, very severe. And I'll be training on women's health later, or during the course of the year, to tell you about the side effects of hormonal replacement therapy, which is one of the conventional way of dealing with people who are going through menopause. But it's got a catalog of side effects. So she was recommended by a doctor this was in UK. So she said she used to suffer for short-term memory and she could not concentrate. And she was also having issue with extra fatigue. And she was fighting to stay awake by lunchtime. She was fatigued, just so tired. And I'm suffering from unpleasant mood swing. And to cap it all, she used to suffer from severe headaches. So life looked looked pretty ruined as she could no longer function at any level. Any level considered normal. So very quickly, she remembered when she heard about our omega-3 from Forever that it may help to improve her concentration. That's why she started taking 6 capsules per day for the first 2 weeks. And after that, she started to take 3 a day. For me, I will always recommend, because this is food, I will say don't stop. Just keep on taking 6 per day. That's 2-3 times a day. For myself, personally, I take 3 capsules twice a day. So she said after just 2 months, all those symptoms she used to have, they were gone. And now she's been able to help, as a result of that, she's been able to help several ladies with similar problems. And some of those ladies she started to help through our positive testimony, they were on antidepressant. I've already told you about the side effects of antidepressant. Some of them, all these SSR, name it, all those different ones, they are known, sometimes they are known to cause suicidal feeling. So some of them, they were on antidepressant. And it got, when their condition got so bad. Another customer, and some of the customers taking omega-3 fish oil from Forever include 2 ladies who were also postnatal. They were suffering from postnatal depression, which I refer early as postpartum depression, and others with hormone imbalances. So all those people, she introduced them to, they benefited positively from our Forever Omega-3 fish oil. So in conclusion here, she said our Forever Omega-3 fish oil is our best selling supplement. How amazing is that? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being a good audience. I've come to the end of this presentation. I know some of you have already decided to go off, but maybe some of you have any burning issues regarding to the presentation today. If you are interested, please feel free to ask as many questions as possible. Let's move on. Is anybody with any question there, Emmanuel?
I cannot see any question unless somebody wants to ask now.
So in conclusion here, it is omega-3, our omega-3 from forever. I'm only talking about the one from forever, which I know, which I've been taking for over 28 years on daily basis. It is critical for every human being. It's not only for, you don't have to be sick. As long as you have brain, it is critical. As I already explained, the importance of DHA. Anybody with brain cell, you need omega-3 fish oil. So that actually, it disputes that one that led me to do the presentation today. I hope all of you have better understanding and you'll be able to help us to move this omega-3 out into the marketplace as from the presentation of today. So, Emmanuel, if there's no question, then we can close the meeting.
I don't have a question. I'd like to appreciate you for the training. I appreciate the rest of us who are still here to learn. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening. Sorry, I can see one question. Vitalis is asking, how long should one take the 3 omega?
Okay, all right.
Is it for a lifetime?
That's my new FBO. Okay, Vitalis, that's a good question. That's a good question, Vitalis. So we are talking about food supplement. As I said, we are not taking enough omega-3 nowadays, so we need to use to bridge the gap in whatever is missing from the food in order to maintain optimum wellness. So when you're asking me, how long can you take, can you continue to take, you're asking me, how long can you continue to eat food? Does that answer the question? As long as you have brain cells and you don't want to become a victim of Alzheimer's or any other, if you want to maintain optimal cognitive function, this is critical for every living cell in your system. And you don't want to become a victim of high blood pressure. So you need it. I hope that answers your question, Vitalis. Anybody else? Someone with diabetes said that it did him bad. He also had high blood pressure. Oh, I see. All right. Again, did him bad. What does that mean? Maybe probably some people, they don't follow the direction when he said did him bad, because, as I said, it's very critical for people who are diabetic, because it's part of the composition of that hormone called what is it called? The hormone which is produced by beta cells in the pancreas. Okay, so that's very important. My brain is now working too fast. So this is, I don't know what it means by it did him bad. Maybe it was not following the instruction properly. And I don't mean, I would love that to come back to me to explain what he means by did him bad. Because for me, as a consultant, clinical nutritionist, I need to have more information on that. Did him bad, I do not understand to what effect, what impact. Okay, what dosage for infants, since you have only told us about adults? I mentioned, but not listening carefully. I said for infants, okay, if for an infant, the mother should be taking our omega-3. So it's not just the mother taking our aloe vera. The aloe vera drink is very important, increase the milk production. And so the baby and infant should be getting it through the mother's breast milk. And also because of deficiency, if you see those people on baby formula, they've added omega-3 because they know the importance of omega-3 for brain health of the infant. So by asking me for little ones, you should get it, the mother is the one who should be taking it. I hope that answers that question. So, and this person was saying he had frequent urinating and was feeling unwell. I think it's got other issues, not our omega-3 causing that frequent urination. Obviously, if you are diabetic, one of the symptoms of diabetes is frequent urination, especially at nighttime. That's one of the symptoms of being diabetic. It's not because of our omega-3. So that's a different issue totally. I cannot answer that. Okay, are people suffering from cancer allowed to, wow, are people suffering from cancer allowed to use our products? I think this is what this, oh, Vitalis again. Of course. When you think of, I've already explained the importance of omega-3 fish oil. When, cancer, the word cancer is terrible. So in that, it may be, when you talk about breast cancer, it may be due to hormonal issues. So omega-3 plays a critical role. When you know the importance of omega-3 as part of the composition of the cell membrane. So it is important when we are talking about managing cancer. Okay? We're talking about cellular membrane here. Because in cancer, you get all these, they go mad, they start dividing. So when you're taking omega-3 fish oil together with our vitamin D3, together with our vitamin B12 plus, which is responsible for cellular division inside the nucleus, that is very good for cellular, to increase good cellular reproduction. It's the to increase the number of non-cancerous cells. I hope that answered your question, Vitalis. So anybody else, anybody issues, feel free to answer me anything relating to omega-3 fish oil. You still got time. I know some of you are rushing to go and watch the news. Anybody else? So I hope that I'm able to answer regarding cancer patients. Very, very critical to be taking omega-3 as part of the for cellular division, working together with B12 plus and vitamin D3. Our individuals were potentially allowed to use this product together with medication from the hospital. Again, I already stressed that it depends on what medication they are taking. This is why I always say that it's very important for FBO to find out. Anybody who comes to me, I want to know what medication they are taking. Because again, they may be on anticoagulant. So if they're on anticoagulant, they are not allowed to take, especially those high dosage of anticoagulant, like warfarin, heparin. But if it's a low dose of aspirin, aspirin, 75 milligrams, they can still take our omega-3. Instead of taking 6 on daily basis, they can just take 4. As a complementary practitioner, this is what I'm advising people. That's a low dose, that's the 75 milligrams aspirin. Okay, also manufacture of the brain omega. Of course, remember the DHA is part of the brain composition. So if you want what you call optimal cognitive function, you need omega-3 fish oil from forever. I hope that answers your question. All right, anybody else? There's no other question? Anybody else on the platform? Are you all happy? I hope everybody is happy so we can close for the day. And I hope through this presentation, you'll be able to help us to move more of the omega-3 from the store. Know how important this is for cellular health. And be careful whatever you read from the internet. And don't take it, just take it with a pinch of salt, because some of the people there are called Confucianists. So beware of that, of them. Okay, okay. Obviously, you'll be able to have the presentation. Why not? Okay. So, thank you, everybody. Love you all. Good night.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye. Good
All
night.
right. Goodbye, Emmanuel. Asante ni sana.
Bye.
Okay.